YouTube has continued to attack alternative media by demonetizing most of our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, please visit our Amazon store or our Patreon page. Links below. Hey, what's going on everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo, this is 3 Buck Theater, and this is my review, my what I think, of the Orville Season 1, Episode 11, New Dimensions. After a couple week break, it's good to finally be back with the cast and crew of the show. I didn't realize how much I missed it until I sat down to watch tonight's episode, and while the episode itself was not the season's strongest, it was definitely a good character episode, especially involving Ed and Lamarr. In fact, actually, I would argue the episode was all about Lamarr, with the B story being all about Ed. So this time around, the crew finds themselves just kind of like hanging out quantum space, flying around, doing their thing, when all of a sudden they encounter an anomaly by almost going through it, or at least part of the ship going through it. The result of this are dead engines and some dead plants that were found in a spare room that had no one in it that happened to be impacted by the anomaly. So of course the chief engineer at this point in time, at the beginning of the episode, I should have pointed out, he's got his going away party. He's going to be taken off, finally going on to design a new space station and whatnot, and it leaves up his replacement, who's going to be doing it, right? And of course that's supposed to be Yaphet. Yaphet is the second in line, and I don't know about you, but I actually happen to be a pretty big Yaphet fan. Norm Macdonald, for one, is fantastic, and the character was given a lot of character development a couple episodes ago, and I thought that it worked out really well, and I want to see more from Yaphet. But of course, in true Star Trek fashion, a side character is not going to end up becoming the chief engineer. We all know where that's going to be going. So this is where Lamarr comes in. Lamarr and Gordon are both reprimanded by Kelly for playing a prank on Yaphet, where they took a part of his gelatinous body and put it on the buffet at the going away party of the former chief engineer, in which case Bortus then ate it. And a bit of Yaphet spent about an hour resting around in the colon of Bortus, and Yaphet himself had to go in and fish it out. It was again one of the only moments with Bortus this episode. I feel like Bortus, super underutilized, man. He's got a couple really good lines. He's had a couple really good moments all season, but just I feel like they just don't know what to do with him, right? Outside of him fighting with Clyden, which again, as far as the relationship is good, but man, I really want more. I want more Bortus themed episodes. I'm just kind of putting that out into the ether for season 2 of the show, which we know is going to be coming next fall. And I don't know about you, but I'm not looking forward to waiting that long. I'm just not. Anyway, so in the course of reprimanding Lamarr, Kelly sees this file and sees that this boy is smart, like aptitude levels through the roof. In which case she wants to bring him in as a potential candidate to be the chief engineer, the replacement for the other guy. And in the process of trying to convince Ed, she lets it slip that she might have been the one to kind of push the admirals along to give Ed command of the Orville, in which case he finally beats it out of her, metaphorically, and then goes and confirms it with the Admiral, and then realizes that he'll be second-guessing himself, even though the Admiral said that everyone there has looked at what Ed has done, that they've looked at everything that they've been able to do over the course of his command of the Orville, and they're all impressed. There's no doubt in their mind that they got it going on, that Ed is running a tight ship. But I get it. If someone were to come to me and say, like, I did this for you, this big thing you want, like I run YouTube, if someone were to come along and say, oh, I put in a good word for you to get in on this this one channel, this one thing, something that I wanted myself. Like, let's, for example, you see above my finger right here, that is my YouTube silver play button. That means the world to me. It's one of my most favorite possessions. And I earned it on my other channel, which has over 150,000 subscribers. But when I got that, I broke down crying when I got that. When I opened it up for my unboxing video, I read a printed off sheet of paper. But for me, that was such a momentous moment in my career that that's where my emotional state was. And if it would have been sullied, right, by someone saying, oh, I fake got you those subscribers, or I did something like that, it would make me second guess a lot about myself, a lot about what I do on this platform, my chosen career. So I get where Ed's coming from, and he has every right when he finds out to be upset at Kelly. Even though her heart was in the right place, he still has every right to be upset. And so, of course, this adds for a bit of turmoil between the two of them as they still try to figure out just what the hell's going on, what the hell this anomaly is. Now, in the process of waiting for the science team, at this point now run by Lamarr, to try to figure it out, a smuggling vessel comes into range. They hail the vessel. They let the person know, listen, we don't care what you have in your cargo. We're not here for that. You're coming, you're on a straight path with an anomaly. Something bad is going to be coming down the pipeline if you do not, adjust course. The person doesn't listen, goes right into the anomaly, pops out on the other side, and now there's no life forms. So so Alara and Kelly and Ed, they go on an away team. They head over to the ship and they discover that the smuggler is now dead, having died of basically cardiac arrest. And they determine that the portal, or the anomaly itself, is like a gateway, a door into a 2D almost like a pixelated world, it feels like, or well, really more like a circuit board. And they realize that they're kind of sitting ducks waiting for their engines to be fixed. And the smuggler was smuggling 20 crates of stolen krill weaponry, and the krill are probably hot on his tail. And so if they don't figure out a way to get out of there or a way to get those engines up and running faster, they are kind of screwed. And this is where Lamarr comes up with the idea of putting on basically like a quantum bubble around the Orville and traveling into the anomaly where they will be protected. Their 3D space will be maintained going into the 2D area, and they will not be destroyed or not be impacted by that at all. So they decide to head in there and basically wait out the krill. And of course, this is television. This is TV. Nothing's ever going to go according to plan, right? It wouldn't be good television if it did. Just imagine that for a hot minute. Well, we traveled into the anomaly with our quantum bubble on. Everything went just fine. We exited 3 hours later and went about our business. No krill, no issues, no drama. Nobody would want to watch. Especially when it's a character building moment like this episode is. And as most season 1 episodes of these kind of shows, you always have your episodes that are centered around specific characters in order to further build along their character. And here's the thing, when it comes to Lamarr, we've only really gotten like the one episode of him when they're doing like the social media planet and everything else, and that truly frightening episode. There hasn't been much else as a result. So worked out well, in my opinion. And so he just, he realizes that they're kind of screwed. The bubble is not going to hold forever. They got to get to another entry point. It's about 4,000 kilometers away. So he says we can get a shuttle. We can put a quantum field or quantum bubble inside of the shuttle. Therefore, the inside will remain in 3D space, and then tow the Orville to the exit point. And of course, Ed, at this point, because he's still very much like, I got to do this to prove it to myself, he opts to fly it while Lamarr is running the science part of it and whatnot. And so they get it there, they get on there, they have a couple little issues, but they end up ultimately getting out. See, I explained it like that, no drama. That's why I'm not a television writer. Why I'm some guy talking into a webcam telling you what I think about a show. But ultimately they get out. And because of the success of the mission, and because Lamarr had proved himself to Ed, and they discussed this on the shuttle, Ed wants to promote him to the chief engineer. And at this point, Lamarr finally comes to the accepting point of it, because he says, too, he's like, the colony I grew up on were all farmers and people of the earth, and they didn't like brainheads or brainiacs or being told that they were wrong. So as a result of this, he just wanted to be liked, so he chose that route versus, giving into his true intent, or his true abilities. He didn't live up to his own capabilities. So there's that. And so that's where the episode basically ends, is with him getting command. And then, of course, Ed and Kelly kind of having their heart-to-heart moment, right? And one where you could see that the sparks are still there. Because Ed thanks her, realizing what she did was doing it out of the right reasons, out of love. And she even admitted earlier that she did it because she felt bad over what happened, over cheating on him with Derulio. She felt horrible. She wanted to, she felt guilty for his slump. She wanted to make it up to him. And then when he does criticize her for it, she says, listen, no one ever gets where they are by themselves. We all have help, right? So going back to this whole button right here, I did have help getting to that point. but it was help from friends of mine that I worked with. I spent time cultivating relationships, and we built a lot of this stuff together, which is fine. It's not someone handing it to me or faking it for me. So that's the whole point there. Like, that was the character moments for the two. And it really did end with Ed kissing Kelly on the cheek and then her slightly smiling as the episode fades to black. And again, another good episode. Not the best one, not a lot of action, more story, more characters, a little bit of heart, but also kind of breaking down a few walls when it comes to the Ellie-Ked relationship, or the the Kelly and Ed relationship. We should just, their couple name will be Ellie. Screw it. Hashtag called it. You're calling it now. And I feel like that's going to be a big part of what's going to, you know, kind of keep the show going, are these little character moments. And I've talked about that before. I love the bonding moments between the characters. I love when they're all talking, so on and so forth. I feel like Lamarr has always kind of been the weakest link. And they really tried to up him to something now. They're giving him something to do for season 2. He'll be the new Scotty, which is, I think, going to be good. It kind of subverts expectations. It subverts tropes to an extent. And I think it's a better fit for him than kind of wasting away you know, on the bridge. And he'll still be there as often, guaranteed. But, you know, that's going to be good for the character. I have to say, though, probably the best part of the episode is one I didn't mention so far. And it's an Isaac moment. Because I love Isaac moments. So what you have is Gordon talking about wanting to get a cat and put the cat on the bridge. And Isaac's like, why would you want a cat on the bridge? What would this do? And then Alara is like, no, cats would be good. You know, they're just kind of, they're bond. They cuddle with you and they bond with you. And then Gordon explains, yeah, you should get a cat. Right, and you just pet it and you bond with it. And of course, clearly referencing Data and his cat from I forget the name of the cat right now, too, from Star Trek Next Generation. So clearly referencing that point. But what's funny is Gordon's sitting there, and then his face kind of goes like this, and he looks down, and Isaac is petting his arm, and he just looks at him and says, "Are we bonding?" Totally classic Isaac. No, but seriously, it was a good episode. I enjoyed a lot of... I enjoyed the little moments. And I felt like it was another good episode, but it didn't impact me as much as others. So next week is the season finale, which I'm not ready for yet, guys. I'm not ready for the season finale yet. But part of me also hoped that this would have like kind of tied into the season finale. It would have been a two-parter, set up the drama, then take us home with the next episode. But then again, it's our first season finale. They're probably going to play it straight. They're probably going to play it easy. And I'm hoping that, you know, by season 2, we'll get a couple more cliffhangers and some longer, more well thought out episodes. Not to say that these ones haven't been great. They have been, but just kind of that angle. Given the short 13 episode series run, you'd like there to be more... or you'd like there to be a little bit more. That's just my own personal thing with that one. But that being said, the Orville, still one of the finest shows on television. And I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.